Most Americans know about the traditional way to invest through stocks, but did you know that since COVID, stocks have tumbled about 18%? Well, a little known fact is that stocks are a little bit overrated. Let's talk about 4 reasons why they're overrated. I'm Veena Jetti, and let's take a deep dive in. Let's talk about why stocks are actually overrated. There are 4 reasons why the stock market isn't necessarily the best investment. Let's find out why. If we're going to talk about the stock market and whether it's a good investment or not, we have to really address that stocks are highly volatile. That means that you can have a stock worth $100 today, and by close of business, it could be worth $30, or by tomorrow, it could be worth $50. And you don't really know where it's going to go. It can go up or down, and you don't really have a lot of control over it. So they're highly volatile. They change value very quickly. Whereas in multifamily, it's a highly stabilized asset class. And so when you invest into multifamily, you aren't often going to buy an asset for $100 million and have it worth $20 million the next day. Generally speaking, it's going to either maintain or hold value, and it's not really going to fluctuate overnight the way the stock market can and does fluctuate. So stocks are a highly volatile investment. The second reason that the stock market is a little bit overrated is because it's not very tax efficient. By comparison, real estate in general, but especially assets like multifamily assets, are highly tax efficient because we can take advantage of the IRS codes that exist for real estate investments. As an example, a 1031 exchange exists where you can exchange a like-kind asset for another like-kind asset when you dispose of one or sell one, and then you acquire or buy a new property. You can defer your capital gains taxes until you exit the new property via this 1031 exchange. The stock market doesn't allow for that type of a tool, so it's not quite as tax efficient or tax beneficial to an investor as multifamily real estate or real estate in general. Another reason that stocks are just not tax efficient is because of the amount of paperwork that you have to complete to file your taxes properly. If you're just a novice trader or an average trader and you don't do this as a profession, you are going to have to track every gain and every loss on every stock purchase or sale, and the paperwork can amount to stacks of papers that you have to go through. So then we go back to the question of, what's your time worth? And is it worth it to even make this little bit of profit if not only do you not have the tax benefits of deferring the taxes, but you also are spending your time, energy, and effort to determine what taxes you even owe? The third reason why stocks are a little bit overrated is because stocks don't beat multifamily real estate investments over time. In a Forbes article written by Ellie Perlman, the CEO of Blue Lake Capital, she cites that since the 1950s, the stock market has returned on average about 7% to investors, whereas multifamily assets, even in as recent as the last year, we have seen 16 to 18% IRRs, and in some cases when assets really overperform because they were conservatively underwritten and the market has moved, we've experienced over 45% IRR returns to our investors. That means we've almost doubled investor money in the course of just 1 or 2 years. It's a wonderful way to really boost your portfolio, and stocks can do that, but if you look at it as an average and as a whole, the same way you look at multifamily real estate as an average or a whole, you'll see that multifamily being tax efficient also allows for a much higher return than the stock market does. At face value, stocks being highly liquid seems like it's a really good thing for investments. But the other side of that coin means that the stock market cannot take advantage of inefficiencies in the market. Because multifamily real estate doesn't have the same liquidity as stocks, it's hard to buy or sell assets right away. Whereas with stocks, you can buy or sell assets even in the same day multiple times. You cannot do that with multifamily. Therefore, having that inefficiency in the market is an opportunity for multifamily investors. That means that we can go into an asset that someone else may not be able to buy right at this moment because they don't have the resources, they haven't looked at it, they don't have access to it, whatever the case may be. But having that inefficiency actually creates opportunity. So the stock market being liquid is great, but the other side of the coin is there is so much efficiency to it that you really cannot maximize your return. I believe in multifamily real estate investments so much that I want to give you a bonus reason. I know we talked about 4 reasons why the stock market is overrated, but here's a bonus reason, and it's easily my favorite reason. You cannot force appreciation on stocks. When you invest into the stock market, you have no control over what Apple or Google or Facebook does. You cannot make any decisions. However, when you invest into real estate or multifamily real estate, if you're an active investor, you can decide to raise rents by renovating a unit. You can decide to add amenities. You can decide to renegotiate a contract. So you can add appreciation and you can increase the value of your assets by making certain management decisions and strategic decisions. So you have a lot of control over your real estate portfolio, not just multifamily, any real estate, but you have control over that. Whereas with stocks, you don't have control. They're not going to let you make decisions. You're not in the boardroom. So having multifamily or real estate investments are really a great way to control your destiny. Today we talked about a bunch of reasons why the stock market is a little bit overrated. And I'll share with you, I do have a small slice of my portfolio in the stock market, and because of all the reasons it's overrated, I have lost significant money in it recently. However, like with any investment, it's not about timing the market, it's about the time in the market. So the longer you hold it, this is a marathon, not a sprint, you likely will recover. And that's why time is so important when you're looking at any investment. But if you want to learn more about multifamily investments, click the link below. Thank you for joining me in this video to learn about why I think the stock market is a little bit overrated. If you learned something from this and you enjoyed this video, make sure you click the subscribe button, ring the bell, and watch my next video.